This is Sebastian from Ghost Iris with an interview for One Standing Web Scene.
Commodores is turning 2 very soon, and I'd like to know if you guys have some ideas about how you would like your music to sound like, which direction, sorry, you would like to explore.
Yeah, so the new music we're working on is, or have been working on ever since Comatose was released, is, I guess, like sort of continued in the path that Comatose was, which is um, very riff heavy. Um, doesn't that doesn't rely music that doesn't rely on breakdowns to be heavy, but more so on the riffs themselves that are heavy. That's very much the direction that we're going in. So the newer stuff is gonna be really heavy, but not in the way of like we have a lot of breakdowns in our music, but more so that we have a lot of heavy riffing in the music.
Nice.
So it's gonna be much heavier. There's gonna be less clean singing, and a little less melody, I think. But still not like full on. It's not full on death metal or anything. But it's just we've been very inspired by just straight up metal riffing, and
Okay.
looking at the bands that used to inspire us when we grew up, like all these bands that just riff insanely good, like Chimera and Metallica. The first Metallica stuff is just amazing riffing, and Slipknot obviously is a huge inspiration. They also, the first albums just filled with insane riffs.
I've heard of the 3Ms you were talking about in an interview.
Yeah.
Meshuggah, Metallica,
Yeah. Misery Signals.
Misery
I
Signals,
think.
right? And
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
I found that very funny.
Yeah.
For someone who's discovering your band, could you name 5 songs, or maybe less if you want, to listen to as a first approach?
Yeah, I think 3 is a bit easier. I would say Desert Dread and Paper Tiger, because just these 2 songs at least are very descriptive of what Comatose sounds like, but also very descriptive of what the newer music is gonna sound
Okay.
like. And then The Rat and the Snake is just a classic, and I think we're always gonna play The Rat and the Snake live. It's such a good song. It's very breakdowny and very gendy, so it's not the type of music that we play anymore, I think, or in the future, but it's a good song and people love it. So
Right.
I love it too. We all do.
Nice. You've said in an interview that contrasts are very evident in your music. What did you mean when you were talking about contrasts, whether it's in your life or it's in music?
I think in terms of the music, it's just that we have these very heavy parts in the verses typically, and then the choruses are generally more melodic. Typically, they're very melodic choruses and kind of almost pop rock-ish. And then so it's the contrast that's the contrast in our music that we've always relied a lot on. But we're sort of moving away from that, just to try something new,
Nice.
because
Yeah.
we've played music together for so long, and at some point during, like, after Comatose was released as well, and like during COVID and stuff, I think we all just looked at each other and we were like, okay, what do we want to do? What do we want to do with this? And what type of music do we really like? And what type of music do we want to play? And what type of music do we listen to? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I think we all just realized that the music that we used to make is not really the music that any of us listen to.
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
yeah, so I mean we used to love bands like Periphery and sort of gendy stuff like that, but none of us really listen to that type of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So either we don't listen to metal at all, or we listen to super metal stuff. So I think we just came to the conclusion that we just wanted to make metal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to get away from the people saying that we're a gent band.
Yeah,
It's also a thing. Like on this tour, I think sometimes I see the promoters labeling us as a gent band, and I'm like,
nope.
have you listened to the music even? I mean,
Yeah,
but
yes.
I don't know.
Sometimes they don't.
That's how it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the global music industry at the moment? We've heard of venues taking large merch cuts, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you deal with that? And what are your thoughts about it?
We haven't experienced the merch cuts yet, but I think Italy has them. So, and we play Italy tomorrow, so that should be fun to see what it's like. But I don't know. It seems so weird that the music industry was like the only industry in the world that was affected by COVID after COVID seemingly disappeared.
Yeah.
It was still just affected by it. And so now, I guess, like at this point last year, everything was just like, okay, fuck it. You can just travel all over and you can play whatever you want and stuff like that. And that was like maybe like a year after everything else could like resume normally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of weird to see that you have this industry that is just like basically dying.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that works in the industry with the bands and stuff, they have these terrible conditions to begin with. They don't make any money really. And it's super weird to see that after so many years that now it's opening back up, and it is opened back up, and now people are just taking whatever money they can from an industry that doesn't make any money in the first place.
Yeah,
it's weird because it's like how is it gonna survive? At some point people will just be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this anymore because
sure. At first it's your job, and then it becomes like something you do because you have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, the love of the music doesn't pay the bills.
Right.
So, and we don't make any money. Like, I can be honest about that. We don't make any money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a business, and it the business is what it is and stuff like that, but we don't take money out of the band. The band kind of funds itself and can pay for itself and stuff, but there are just so many expenses that people don't know about. I mean, we all have full-time jobs at home. Mm-hmm. We even work while we're on tour. Like just this morning, I got up at like 8 a.m. and I got my computer up and I started working. So
two different lives.
Yeah, so that's how it is. And our singer does the same, and one of our guitarists, he studies and he has some other stuff he does, and so that's just the reality of it. There's nothing to come for.
What is a song that you wish you had written?
Naming one song is gonna be difficult, but probably just the entire album with Iowa by Slipknot, that entire album, or Upsend by Meshuggah. Those two albums, they're my favorite albums. Okay. There are 0 skips on those albums.
Right, I agree.
I can't pick one song from either. So.
Your current favorite artists?
That's a good question. I haven't really listened to a lot of music while we've been on this tour, honestly, so that's a really, really good question. I have to check my Spotify for that. I think, that is a good question. I think Sleep Token, probably.
Right.
I listened a lot to them.
Yeah.
Have been for the past few years. Generally, I just listen a lot to Slipknot. And the type of music that I used to listen to, 15, 20 years ago. But I think Sleep Token probably.
Yeah. I love them.
Yeah, it's so good. Very unique.
Yeah. What is one artist you'd like to work with?
Slipknot.
Sure. What is your most striking memory from touring or else?
Oh, it's tough to pick just one moment. There, so much weird stuff happens, like all the time, and it sort of becomes a blur when you're doing it, because I think this tour has been going on for 2 weeks, and even at this point you're just like, when did stuff happen? like what venues were this in, what cities did stuff happen in. And so when you look back and when you've done it a lot, it kind of all just melts together.
Yeah.
And so whenever people ask me this stuff, it's like I can't really name just one thing. The fun stuff and the weird stuff and the fucked up stuff just kind of comes to mind whenever me and the rest of the guys are just kind of bawling off each other and just like, oh, you remember this time, and oh, it was like this happened that day as well. So when you caught me off guard like that, I can't. I just can't. It's such a weak answer, I know.
No, it's
but
fine. No worries.
It's like, well, I don't know. I think I should probably just have an answer ready for that in the future.
You should list some questions and just
Yeah, because I've been in this situation before where I can't give an answer to that.
Have you guys ever been in France?
Yes.
Yes, but Paris maybe, or?
Yes, we played in Paris in 2019, I think.
Okay.
And just a few days ago as well.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, so we played in the backstage in France.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Which is a cool venue.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
It was like a restaurant, and then you just walk down to the back of it, and there's a venue. So
there are a lot of it in here too. Like they call it ninkasi, and you can eat and you can go to a show. Or just
yeah. And the show in France on this tour with Attila was on a boat, and that was really awesome. That was a really cool venue. Had a vegan restaurant on top of it. It was awesome.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
What's the most important lesson you've learned throughout the years within Ghostlighters?
I think to not take anything for granted, because it's easy to just get pissed off at stuff that shouldn't get you pissed off, just because you probably haven't slept that much or you haven't eaten anything. So just not take anything for granted, because we're here doing it. Not a lot of people get to do it. So I guess we're living what we call the dream. This is what I dreamt about when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Always. And it's sometimes when I think about it, it's kind of weird that we're in this situation doing it.
Yeah.
And people are coming to the shows and you want to interview us. It's like what?
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to your band like for maybe since 2020. I mean, during lockdown, I was able to discover lots of bands, including you and
that's
including awesome. Sleep Token.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
Here's the link.
Yeah, I think don't take anything for granted, even outside of music, just in general. Live in the moment. Yeah. And not look at my phone so much. Obviously, when you came in, I was totally looking at my phone. but I had just been out walking like 10 kilometers in the city I was in. So
of course,
exactly.
What would be your advice for an artist starting out?
Just keep on pushing, and be annoying to people. Just keep on pushing and don't give up if it's what you want to do. I mean, because there's gonna be like a ton of backlash, and people are gonna think you're annoying, and you're gonna feel like you're not getting anywhere. But then suddenly you're just gonna be hit with like this one chance that is just gonna change everything for you, and you're gonna have to be ready to just take that chance and leave everything else behind.
Yeah.
Whatever you have going on in your life, with the jobs or, because you also need the money to fund it. If you're at a smaller band level, you're going to have to pay up. So it's an investment, and we've invested so much in this band. And if we hadn't done that, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
Sure.
So, and that's also like, don't take anything for granted. Just grind it out. It's gonna suck so much sometimes, and you're gonna feel like you're not getting anywhere. But as long as like just one person is coming to a show and they're gonna buy a T-shirt, that's awesome. I mean, just think about it. This person is buying a T-shirt with your name on it. That's cool. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
So just grind it out and make good music, of course.
So
that's but that's a given.
What's next for you guys after touring? Maybe getting some rest?
Yes. yeah, getting some rest. We have some new music that hopefully we're going to release this year. But let's see what happens with that. We're sort of in a limbo state right now. We don't have a label, so we have to figure out what we're gonna do and how everything is gonna turn out and stuff like that. So this entire COVID time, as I said earlier, we've been working on a whole new side of the band, and it's just gonna be a more real and honest band that is gonna release music and take the stage, because we're just gonna release the music that we want to do, and we're not doing it to fit in a formula of music that has to like be heavy but also a little bit melodic, and it's like, let's just do the music that we like, you know. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a totally different new era of Ghost Iris. It's gonna be something completely different, both in the music and the visual aspect and the live performance as well. We're already like starting now with the visual and the live stuff. So
from what I've seen, you're wearing white makeup, or are there masks?
Yeah. So Daniel and Nicholas, they both wear masks. Different masks. And we all have like sort of costumes on.
So cool.
Yeah, it's kind of there's a whole story that is gonna unfold with the way we look on stage.
Okay.
That is gonna follow the story of whatever is gonna come. So it's like it's kind of a tease to what's gonna come. We're like, should we wait? We're just like, fuck it, let's just do it now. Like, who cares? You know? It's just like, let's do what we want to do, and we want to do this. And we found out it's way much more fun to go on stage when you have sort of a persona to get into, especially when we go up and take the stage the way we do at this point in our career.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, you know, like Iceland Kills does.
Exactly.
I mean, they're
great band. Iceland Kills is amazing. They're a band we've been like studying, like, what do these guys do? Obviously they have the whole horror gimmick thing, but still, like, why do these people get people's attention? Well, look at them.
Sure.
So we've been working a lot on that, and there's gonna be a whole thematic story that's gonna unfold with the new music as well, that is gonna tie in with like you said, the masks and stuff.
Yeah, from what I've read from your previous interviews, it's like lockdown was a big brainstorm for Ghost Iris. I mean, it's
totally it was.
It's
it
like
really
you've changed you let things in the past and just started to become what you want to become. I mean, it's
very, very true. Very true. Comatose was written before COVID, and was like recorded just after COVID, when everybody was just like, oh, this is gonna go over in a month. So, you know, that was a totally different mindset. And then, like, just after we recorded that album, obviously a band at our level takes a while from recording stuff to getting it released. Like, it takes a year for us. So a lot changed in our mindset when after we did Comatose even. So yeah, just the band in general changed a lot. Like, everything was put into perspective with the music, and just, you know, it's been 3 years now. So we're all in our 30s now, and when COVID hit, we were like, I was 27, and Daniel and Nicholas, they were 28, and Jesper was, I don't know, 33 maybe, I think. So, you know, now I'm 30, they're 31, and Jesper is like, what, 36, I think, you know. So age is catching up. We get older, and things get into perspective also with, like, stuff around the band, you know, like, what type of career do I want, except for being in a band, you know. Me and Daniel, our one guitarist, we changed up our whole careers when COVID hit, like, outside of the band, because we were like, okay, now this band has been taken away from us, and, like, it's like, this is basically my identity. So we're like, okay, I need to figure out what else to do when I don't have the band, because at some point I'm not gonna want to be able to play music anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So at some point it's just going to be enough, but you know, it's been both for the band but also in just like who am I as a person.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
because I spent my entire 20s just focusing on the band, and then when we started to like things started going really good, it was like nope.
Yeah. My God, it hit hard.
And then yeah, so everything from the band to just life in general has been one big brainstorm, I think, since COVID, for better or for worse. Mostly for the better.
For better, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, because I mean, to me, lockdown was like a way to really get some rest,
Mm-hmm.
really to pause
Yeah.
things up and just take a breath.
Yeah, really put things into perspective
Mm.
about what you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.